Hi, I'm Diane Conklin with CompleteMarketingSystems.com, and welcome to another segment of Lessons Learned from the Big Move. It's been an interesting 8 months for me in my life. I've had a lot of changes. I've gone through a lot of changes personally, professionally, in my business, in my life, and now I've made another big move. Literally, I've moved where I live. So, you know, it's a metaphor, right? Life is a metaphor for our businesses. And my business is growing and it keeps changing. And I'm having more fun and I'm working less than I've ever worked. And I'm going through this amazing time in my life where I'm having all kinds of firsts. What do I mean by that? Well, this is the first time I've ever really moved on my own. For the first time, this is going to sound really silly. I'm 49 years old. For the first time in my life, I had to change the propane tank out on the grill. Not something I've ever done before. I had to pack. I've had to unpack. I didn't have to. I've chosen to do some of these things. But my point is, I went and bought a broom for the first time in my life that I remember the other day at the store. Now, I don't intend to use the broom very much, but I needed it. I'll have somebody else use the broom. But my point is, what kind of things we deal with first all the time in our businesses, and we either are afraid and let the fear stop us, or we say, this is part of my growing process. This is part of what's going to happen in my business, and let's do it, right? I mean, talking about first, I mean, none of us, we have our own language, and sometimes we forget that we have our own language, right? Autoresponders, sequences, marketing, direct mail, internet marketing, banners, ads. None of us, I mean, think about it. Even if you've been in business for a long time like I have, right? 15 years ago, 20 years ago, nobody was talking like this. We have our own language, but none of us knew about shopping carts or merchant accounts or any of those things before we were in business. Now, we just say it and move on like, you know, it's no big deal. But think about all the firsts that you've had to go through in your life and in your business, and they're scary. Sometimes. I had no idea how to change the propane tank. Now, obviously, buying a broom wasn't quite as big a deal. But I thought to myself, Diane, this is silly. You're over 40, you're over 18, you've had a lot of experiences in your life. This can't be that big of a deal. So you have two choices. Either sit here with an empty propane tank and let your half-cooked steak sit there, or figure out how to change it, or go ask a neighbor, right? Whatever. I figured it out. It wasn't all that hard. And I figured the great thing is, with the internet these days, I probably could have gone on there and figured it out. My point is, don't be stopped by all the firsts and all the things that you have to do in your business that you're unsure about. And don't feel like you have to be the expert. Don't feel like you have to go learn how to do all these things. There are people out there who already know, who are experts. Leverage their knowledge. If you've been around at all, you've heard me say before, and you'll hear me say again, if you continue to follow me, which I appreciate, by the way. Stop. A very wise mentor said this to me many years ago, and it's made such an impact. I don't know how many hundreds of times I've repeated it. Don't try to strengthen your strengths. Don't strengthen your weaknesses. Strengthen your strengths. Hire your weaknesses. Let other people have fun doing what they're good at and what they love to do while you're doing what you're good at and what you love to do. And sometimes when it's as easy as buying a broom or changing out a propane tank, you can do that yourself. All sorts of firsts. Don't let the fear stop you. Keep moving forward in your business. I'm Diane Conklin. If you need some help with some of those things in your business, I would love to talk to you about being the one to help you move forward. Check us out at CompleteMarketingSystems.com. We'll see you next time with more lessons from the big move.